What's going on, guys? Scotty Sparks here, coach of your London Luxray, and I am bringing you my team builder slash, um, the end of week one. So here's the results. Javin got a win, 1-0. Squazin 5-0. Mark got a 3-0 win. Alex got a 2-0 win. Liam with a 2-0 win. Myself with a 3-0 win. Jordan with a 4-0 win, and Brandon with a 1-0 win. Going down here, where that positions us is so in our division, we are second place. So we haven't clinched the playoff spot that way, but we are tied for third in the conference. So we have a playoff spot. Like right now we have a playoff spot, but if you look at it, 6 of the 8 people in our conference, since it was an out-of-conference matchup this week one, 6 of the 8 won their match. So it's going to be, it's looking like our conference is going to be pretty tight. Our division is going to be pretty tight too, because look at that, 4-3-2-1, all 4 of us won. So it's going to be interesting. That being said, we have an in-division match this week against Liam, coach of the Bravest bird, which means we need, like the last time I remember facing him was we played season 2, and I just didn't play well. It was just flat out. I wish I could have done so many things differently. We got a chance to redeem ourselves in the playoffs, and we executed our plan. And I think I played him last. I had to have played him last season. From what I remember, I won, but it was a bad season for me, so I could easily have lost that. He did have a rain team last year. No, I won it because I had Sylveon, Blastoise. Like it was one of my earlier matches before I started going on my losing skid. So I'm pretty sure we did beat him, but I don't think we played him in playoffs. So right now it's looking like we're 2-1 versus Liam. Just start keeping track. That'd be nice to just know for history's sake. So that being said, I'm gonna jump into my team shortly. I'll move that here. So we are pretty high in the standings right now, but it's only week 1. Anything can really happen, which is kind of worrisome that so many people in our conference got a win. But that being said, I'll talk about his team a little. So some big threats on his team. Necrozma is one of them. Prism Armor means that your super effective hits only count as stab moves instead. And I guess if they're already a stab, it's like a stab. But that being said, so it reduces the damage that you can do to it. Very powerful. It can be defensive, offensive. Who knows? My best way to deal with it, in my mind, the best way I feel like dealing with it is going to be just power, like break through it. I can toxic it, hopefully, maybe, but I mean I'm not going to rely on that this time. Maybe we'll play again. Maybe next time I bring more toxic. I can't really remember what my team is, but we'll get into that. Chansey, not a fan of in a draft format. Not really a fan of at all. It's one of those Pokemon that's like, if you only have special attackers, then it wins. Like if you bring a team of like 5 special attackers, Chansey just flat out wins. But defensively, it's not the greatest. He might not bring it against my team because of who I have on my team, but if he does, it's great for me. Salazzle, something I wanted to draft this year, didn't get the chance to because he sniped it, but so we got to get our revenge for him sniping that. 2 great. Corrosion's probably the better ability. Oblivious could help in certain situations, but probably seeing Corrosion, and that's dangerous because steel types, poison types, they can be toxic, which is not a fun thing. Subs a set it can run. Offensive Scarf specs. I do think he's running Poisonium Z this week, if I had to pick. That or Specs, because I have some good switch-ins to Salazzle, like Blastoise, and if he's going to bring it, I feel like he has to, I feel like it's going to be one of the Pokemon he brings, and I feel like the extra damage is what he needs. Mienshao, very scary Pokemon. Him and Mega Glade are similar. Mienshao has more momentum, U-turn, has pretty good power. Mega Glade's more setup. I guess Mienshao can be set up, but both will have a similar role. I don't think he's bringing both. If he does, I mean, that's bad on my end, but just because its fighting stab is not hard and not easy to switch into. That being said, 2 fighting Pokemon, not the easiest to switch into. Noivern, very fast Pokemon. Last season it crit Draco'd me at -4. Lost me the game. So it has Infiltrator, probably what it's going to be running. Frisk is a really good ability too. I used to run Gourgeist Season 1, Season 2. Not really picked up since, or used much since, but Frisk is a good ability. Alolan Executor is a very powerful Pokemon. Could be a big threat to this game if he decides to bring it. I already talked about Mega Gallade. Shedinja, I think it's just more of a joke pick he picked up. Although it is a Z Captain, I don't know what that means. I don't know what it can do. But if I see it, Hazard's up right away. That's simple. Zoroark, well, Hazard's because it has 1 HP, and if you switch it in, it'll die. Doesn't matter if you have Sash. It takes the rocks, the spikes, and just flat out dies. Zoroark is going to be a pain if he does decide to bring Zoroark. I'm going to have to play really well around that. Then we got a Alolan Ninetales, which can do pretty much anything. Oh my gosh, I hate my computer sometimes. I need to clean it out. Alolan Ninetales is a scary Pokemon. It's offensive. It has awesome offense potential, but at the same time, Aurora Veil is a very scary thing. Mega Gallade and Necrozma behind an Aurora Veil, not a fun time. And then Jirachi, a very annoying Pokemon. Scarf, Ironhead, can be defensive, can be other stuff, but usually it's defensive Rocks or Scarf, Ironhead. Usually the 2 sets you see. Could be like especially offensive. I mean, it has the coverage, I believe, but Serene Grace is just annoying as hell. That being said, me and Brandon were talking about these teams over a video, and this is the team I commented that it has 10 out of the 11 Pokemon I just hate to fight. I just hate, like Zoroark, Shedinja, Jirachi, Mega Gallade. I think Alolan Executor is the only one that I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But Noivern I have a history with now. Mienshao is annoying. I lost to Mark in Little Cup with, he had Mienfoo, and just fucking wrecked my day. Slazzle stole from me, that's annoying. Necrozma, this is just going to be, and I have to face him twice. This is not going to be a fun team to fight, but that being said, not having a fun team to fight is a very good, it relates to a very good draft, in my opinion. Like, if I don't want to fight you, then you did something right in the draft process. So that being said, let me just close this up, and we will get to my team was on that. Okay, so we had a cut there because I'm an idiot, didn't realize that I didn't click the team, so Brandon could have saw the team, 4 of the Mons I was bringing against him. That being said, we'll get into my team. I'm going to move this too. Move that out of the way. So the first thing I saw when I looked at this team was Slurpuff. Return, Belly Drum, Play Rough, Thief. Noivern, I have enough speed that I can outspeed a Scarf Ninetales. So if he can't Scarf Mega Gallade, I don't think Mega Gallade gets like speed boosting setup. Salazzle and Noivern, if they're Scarfed, they'll outspeed me. But I have ample opportunity to set up on this team. I can set up on a Mienshao, I believe, especially if it's like a Scarf Mienshao. Like, there's just going to be a part where I set up on this team, I click Belly Drum, and nothing on his team lives. Like, Thief, Oko's Jirachi, Play Rough kills a lot of other things. I'm pretty sure Play Rough can Oko Necrozma. I do want to let me double check that. Damage calcs. Slurpuff, Cotton Kirby. I don't think that's the right set. That's the one I'm bringing in. I brought last week. And what am I looking at? Necrozma. Stealth Rocks. I'll give it HP. If he runs HP defense, okay, yeah, Play Rough's gonna do 26. So I go 52. No, sorry, +6. And I Oko with Play Rough. Plus I get some hazards up. That's a Jolly set too, which is nice. So it's not boosting, and there's no boosting item on there. So +6, pretty much this whole team's gonna fall. That being said, I'm gonna have to rely on hitting a a 90% accurate move, which won't be fun, but that should hopefully won't be a problem because Cotton Kirby is going to put in some work this week. 16 HP, so that I'm on an odd number. If any, for newer players watching this, odd number your HP, because when you switch into hazards, everything rounds down. So if you're switching into rocks, and say you're weak to, like you're 4 times weak to rocks, like you have a Charizard, if you're at 309, you can switch in twice. If you're at 308, you die on the second switch in. So basically, it doesn't really matter for Pokemon like this, but for other Pokemon, especially Pokemon weak to rocks, switching into rocks with an odd number HP allows you to go one more time. So if you're 25, if you take 25% damage from rocks and you're at an odd number, you get 4 switch-ins. Where if you're at an even number, you only get 3 switch-ins. That's assuming you don't take damage in between. Yeah, so I wanted to go Adamant, but I feel like Scarf, Ninetales, and below, Scarf Manchow, Scarf Ninetales, Scarf Zoroark, I feel like they're all potentially viable options. Even Scarf Jirachi, I think, is a viable option, which means if it is, I outspeed, and Thief just outgoes. I'm gonna wait to see his sets a bit, I believe, because I don't want to just like jump into this with Cotton Kirby. I kind of want to make sure that I can set up against something safely, and then that everything on his team will die. So I'll be making sure my calcs there are good. This Pokemon here, like I said, Alolan Ninetales is going to be an issue. Aurora Veil for sure. The best way I know to switch into it is a Fire Silvally. Resists both its stabs. I have the option to defog away the Aurora Veil, which is really nice. This being said, I put defog on Horus too, just because I don't want this to be my defogger. I want this to be my Aurora Veil remover. Horus was will take care of rocks and stuff. This is going to take care of this is mainly Alolan Ninetales. That's it. Toxic to catch some switch-ins if he doesn't get the Aurora Veil up. Flamethrower, it hits a lot of his team. Hits the Executor, hits the Shedinja, hits the Jirachi, hits the Ninetales. So I can threaten the Ninetales, and then I can Parting Shot out into, say, Cotton Kirby or Anubis. Either of the two. There's not really much more to say about that. I don't know why I have some speed. I'm pretty sure the speed would just be to... I wouldn't be surprised if that's to speed creep a no-speed Jirachi. Let me check. Let's go to Necrozma first. Necrozma, is that max speed? Okay, so I can't outspeed that. What if it's modest? Can't outspeed that. Yeah, it's probably Jirachi. It's looking like it. Yep. So I outspeed a Jirachi with a little bit of speed, which means I outspeed a Necrozma without much speed, or even with a fair bit of speed. And I can get some Parting Shots and Flamethrowers off there. But we'll go into Blastoise now. Blastoise, mainly, Salazzle is a big threat. I mean, there's no hiding behind that. Enough like defensive power to take on a Sludge Wave and a Poisonium Z from a timid Salazzle after rocks. I think he is going to be timid. I don't see him being able to go modest, especially when things like Lycanroc and Salamence are on my team. And then I can put some big pressure. The Aqua Jet is because if I can weaken Salazzle with rocks and he doesn't go for that Poisonium Z, then I can... It's more of like a pinch thing. Like, I need to... It does like 50%, I believe, to a Salazzle. So if I can get it into range, especially if it's Life Orb Salazzle, and it goes for a couple Sludge Waves and Flamethrowers against other stuff on my team, that Aqua Jet's really good. It's just really good to have. Water Pulse, because I want power. Like, I don't really need to burn anything on this team. I was just going more for the power. And then Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, so that Executor is not a switch-in. Dark Pulse hits Shedinja. If he decides to bring that, it hits Necrozma really powerfully. And I didn't really need Aura Sphere because Zoroark's frail and I can just throw off Water Pulses. And so I can at least hit the Salazzle as hard as I can. Ice Beam again for Noivern, I guess. So I felt these three move, like Water, Ice, Dark was enough coverage for this team. Didn't really have to worry about it. And my fourth Pokemon here. This is going to be the other, like, fail-safe to this team. Not a fail-safe, sorry. That's Solomon's. This is more of a, how do I word this? A way to break his team. Like, this and Cotton Kirby are going to be, like, my two win cons. Like, one's going to either break his team. One of these will break his team, and one of these will sweep, hopefully. This sets up on Chansey. Chansey, it's probably, against my team, it's probably going to be running Toxic, what is it? Toxic Rocks, Seismic Toss, Soft Boiled. I mean, and that doesn't touch Lucario at all. And you might think he's safe with a Salazzle, but I get an SD off against the the Chansey pretty much 100% of the time. The only issue though is Jirachi can revenge this if it's a Scarfer. I can't E-Speed Jirachi, so this is more going to be until Jirachi's dead, I can't really set up with this. I want to see, what's the speed I put? I don't know why I put so little speed. Unless that's for Necrozma. But I thought Necrozma... Was it to outspeed a modest one? Yeah. So I need the power with extreme speed. So I went adamant, and I can outspeed a modest Necrozma, and theoretically Necrozma is bulky enough that it doesn't have to run timid or jolly. So I think I'm fine there. And as long as I don't get flinched to death, like I want to figure out what the Jirachi is. Groundium Z nukes Jirachi and it nukes Necrozma, and that's kind of going to be my play. Use the Groundium Z to take some damage and knock one of those out, and then from there, E-Speed my way through Noivern, through Salazzle, through Mega Glade, through Alolan Ninetales. Like I can E-Speed my way through pretty much this entire team. Once I take out Jirachi, once I take out Necrozma, and then I guess if Shedinja's brought, I just get Hazards up and there's no big deal, which is nice. So, hopefully this works out. If it doesn't bring Chansey, this is going to be more of an expendable mon. I can still, I can still set up, I guess, like on a Scarfed Zoroark or something like that, or a Spec Salazzle that went for a poison move, just things like that. But overall, I don't see, like I feel like he brings Chansey because he brought Chansey last game, and if he does, then this is a good way to wreck that. And this is more of a fail safe. I really did want to go Intimidate Scarf. Like I didn't really think I needed the Moxie boost, but I'm thinking that with this kind of team, it might be pretty easy to get a kill between Outrage, Dragonclaw, Earthquake. Once Ninetales goes down, don't have to worry about Dragonclaw being like him having a switch into Dragonclaw. Earthquake again for Jirachi, but other than that, Outrage just wrecks this team. Like his switch-ins are, like I said, I guess Shedinja's a switch-in. His switch-ins are Shedinja, Jirachi, and Ninetales. If I can get rid of, he probably won't only bring one or two of those. If I can get rid of those, then this thing can sweep. Not really much to say about that. I outspeed his entire team. I outspeed a modest Rock Polish. I'm pretty sure I speed a modest Rock Polish Necrozma. And then Tailwind was there. I might switch that out. It was more of just I'm trying to think of another thing I'd need, and maybe if I'm in a situation where something on my team like Lucario wins or Blastoise wins, I can throw this out, sack it, get the Tailwind off, and then win from there. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I went to click this. So, last Pokemon. Mainly Mega Glade. a huge problem. If he doesn't bring Mega Glade like he did last week and he just goes Man Show, a lot better on my side. But that being said, I need a switch in to them. And this provides that. The Sturdy probably won't play an effect. I can live 2 hits from a Mega Glade, close combat. The Guava Berry to, once I live the second hit, be able to put me back into put me back up into health. Brave Bird might lower me into that 25%, which can push me back into like the 60%, which means I can't switch in, but I can now check a Glade a second time. So I can counter the Glade the first time, and then once the Guava Berry activates, I can check it a second time. Stealth Rocks will be big in this game. Roost will be big too. I need to stay at as much health as I can. Defog to get rid of his rocks, and then Brave Bird to hit the Glade. I have a switch into Ninetales, so if I don't need the Iron Head, I have a switch into. Do I have a switch into Jirachi? I have a way to counter Jirachi, so it's not gonna be like looking at this team. I don't see a switch into Jirachi right now. I see a switch into Scarf Jirachi with Iron Head in Anubis, but I guess Salamence can switch into Jirachi too. Should I go Jolly just so that I can speed tie a Jirachi? Actually, I think I'm gonna go Jolly because I think I need to speed tie a Scarf Jirachi. But yeah, that's the team. My battle is gonna be Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, and I'm thinking that this is gonna be a good match. It's a division match, like I said, which is an issue for sure. I mean, like overall, division matches that could be big if I lose, standing wise, especially since my division's so close. But it'll either mean I'm third or fourth or first or second, depending on how the matchup between Brandon and Jordan goes. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off, and I will see you guys at the match.